Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, we'll be learning how to cut out a 70 degrees flare, and I'll be attaching this flare to the base of my half length. So I already have my fabric here. We're going to go ahead and fold the fabric. I'll first of all fold the fabric into two, just like you see me doing. After doing that, I'm going to fold it over. Okay, once you fold it over, you can use it to cut out your 360-degree flare, but in this tutorial I'll be cutting out a 720 degrees flare. So for 360, you fold it into two, so you have one closed edge, as you can see, and two opened edge of the fabric, and the fabric is folded into four. Once you do this, you are going to get one full flare, but for this tutorial we want to get two. So instead of folding my fabric into two and then folding it over, what I'll do is to fold it into two, as you can see, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold over. After folding it for the second time, my fabric is folded into four. I'm going to arrange my fabric in place, and the next thing I'll do is to fold it for the last time. So I'm going to fold it like this, meaning my fabric is folded into four. So just go ahead and fold it again one more time. For now, the fabric is folded into four. You can see that we have one closed edge and two open edge. So I'm going to now fold it over like this. So we add 4. After folding it over like this, we have 8. So I'm going to count it for you guys to see. You can see that I have the closed edge and the open edge. I'll go ahead and count it for you guys to understand what I mean. So I'm going to start from here. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, after doing that, I'm going to start taking my measurements on this closed edge. You can see that the open edge is just one and the other side is closed. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the upper part of my peplum. This is my half length. So the length of this half length is 16 inches. So I'm going to take what is left to complete this blouse from the peplum. I already have 16 inches. To know the measurement that I'll be using for the waistline of this peplum, I'm going to measure around the waistline of this half length. Okay, so whatever you are attaching your peplum to, go ahead and measure around whatever it is, because that's what we are going to use to cut out the peplum. So after measuring, what I had was 38 38 inches. I'm going to go ahead and divide that 38 inches by 8, because my fabric is folded into 8. I don't know if you understand. So what it gave me was 4.75. I'm going to now go ahead and place the 4.75 on the upper part of this fabric. So just look at the way I'm going to place my measurements. I'm going to place my tape like this, and I'll find 4.75. So just go ahead and do that. Once I place my tape like this and I find the 4.75, I'm going to mark it. So the waist area of my half length is 38 inches plus zipper allowance, and I've already gone ahead to sew the sides using my stitching allowance. That is why I'm not adding any stitching allowance to this waist area. So whatever you are attaching your peplum to, go ahead and add stitching allowance. That is if you've not sewn the sides already. After marking the 4.75, I'm going to go ahead and place my tape from the 4.75 and mark what he gave me. So what he gave me was 3 inches on that center, on that closed edge. So I'm going to mark 3 inches all the way around, as you can see. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead and connect the dots. The next thing I'm going to do is to determine the length of my peplum. So I'm going to now place my tape from the waist area, as you can see, and I'm going to mark the length of my peplum as 9.5 inches. So the same thing that I did for the waist area, I'm going to mark 9 inches, sorry, not 9.5 inches. I'm going to mark 9 inches all the way around, okay, to form my circle. After doing that, I'm going to connect the dots and I'm going to go ahead and cut. So guys, after connecting the dots, this is what I have. So my half length is 16 inches and the length of my blouse is 23 inches, but I added 2 extra inches for joining the base to the lining and for joining the waist area to the half length. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut. After cutting, guys, this is what I have. I'm going to open it up for you guys to see. So you can see that there is no joining on this flare, and I have 2 circle. So one of them is 360 degrees flare and the two combined together is 720 degrees flare. I hope that you understand. What I'll do now is to split one side of the flare open, just like you can see me doing. So we have this 360 degrees flare. Once you join this and the other one, it will give you a 760 degrees flare, but I'll be using this one to cut my lining first. So I'm going to fold it back the way it is, and I'm going to fold my fabric, that's my lining piece, the same way that I folded my fabric earlier. So this lining piece is folded into 8. I'm going to now go ahead and place the closed edge of this fabric on the closed edge of my lining piece. Just like you can see, I'll arrange everything in place. After doing that, I'm just going to trim exactly as it is. I'm going to cut all the way around. After cutting, guys, this is what I have. I'm going to open it up for you guys to see. So just the same thing that we had for the main fabric, I have 2 circle for the lining. So what I'm going to do is to split the sides of the circle open. Okay, and this is what we have. So the next thing you're going to do, if you are adding stay, go ahead and iron your stay to the lining piece. If not, go ahead and pin the 2 sides of the fabric together and the 2 sides of the lining together and go ahead and join them. So I'm not adding stay to my peplum, I'm just going to sew it like that, and I don't want to join it either because I want to use 360 for the front and 360 for the back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to place the lining piece on the fabric right sides, facing right sides. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and pin all the way around just so everything stays flat. So make sure you pin before you sew. I'm going to pin. After pinning, I'm going to go ahead and sew. I'll sew the base all the way around and I'll close the sides. The only place I'm not going to sew is the waist area because I'll be using the waist area to turn everything inside out. If you want to add crinoline to the flare to make it stand, you are going to sew it at this point. So go ahead and place the crinoline on the main fabric, and then you are going to sew. As you are sewing the lining and the main piece together, you are also sewing the crinoline in place. After doing that, now you are going to now turn it over to the towards the lining, and then you're going to iron everything flat. But I didn't use a crinoline for mine. I just wanted it to sew all the way around. I turned it inside out through the waistline and I went ahead to iron everything flat, and this is what I have. So like I said, I did not join the 2 flares together because I want to use one for the front and the other for the back. So this is just 360 degrees flare. The same thing that I did for one of the flare, I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side of the flare. After sewing the flare in place, I'm going to go ahead and now sew it all the way around the half length. And yeah, you can decide to pleat it or gather it to the waist area, whatever you want to do. So guys, that is all for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like this video, leave your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in